From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, July the 20th, 2020. The IDF said it arrested 3 Palestinians who were planning to carry out a terror attack on the Jewish settlement of Beit El in the West Bank. The arrests took place on Saturday at a refugee camp north of Ramallah. The 3 were taken for questioning by Israel's security agency, the Shin Bet. Hungary's Foreign Minister Péter Szijjártó was in Israel today. He met with his Israeli counterpart Gabi Ashkenazi and later with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, where they discussed regional issues as well as joint efforts to fight the coronavirus pandemic. Meanwhile, Netanyahu was the subject of continued demonstrations this weekend in Israel against him and his handling of the pandemic. And the Israel Airports Authority announced today that restrictions preventing foreign visitors from entering Israel because of the pandemic will be extended until the 1st of September. While Jewish organizations are mourning the loss of veteran Georgia Congressman and civil rights icon John Lewis. Lewis died Friday at the age of 80 from cancer. The leaders of the Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations, Arthur Stark, William Daroff, and Malcolm Hoenlein, said that Lewis was a giant in the civil rights movement, saying John Lewis worked to bring the Jewish and Black communities closer together. He was also a steadfast supporter of a strong U.S.-Israel relationship. The Anti-Defamation League said Lewis was a strong friend and supporter of the ADL's mission. CEO Jonathan Greenblatt called Lewis a fearless leader whose courage and heroism were on display each and every day as he fought for a more just world. The American Jewish Committee's CEO David Harris said Lewis was instrumental in encouraging Black-Jewish dialogue, consistently outspoken against antisemitism, one of Israel's strongest advocates in Congress, and an active supporter of the Soviet Jewry movement in the 1970s and 80s. Harris said no one in American public life was as admired as a prophetic voice calling on us to live up to our highest values and greatest aspirations, to strive to make this nation a more perfect union, as John Lewis. Former Nazi guard Bruno today told the victims of the Holocaust that he was sorry for what they experienced. Days ahead of his anticipated verdict, the 93-year-old said today, "I would like to apologize to those who went through the hell of this madness, as well as to their relatives. Something like this," Day said, "must never happen again." Day is accused of complicity in the murder of 5,230 people at the Stutthof concentration camp in Poland, where he worked as an SS tower guard. Day continues to deny any guilt, saying he would never have voluntarily signed up for the SS. He said, "If I had seen an opportunity to remove myself from service, I would have done so." Prosecutors in the case are looking for a 3-year sentence if Day is found guilty. A verdict is expected Thursday. NBA Hall of Famer Charles Barkley is adding his voice against those public figures in the Black community who have posted or shared anti-Semitic statements, like Deshaun Jackson and Nick Cannon, who have apologized for their remarks, as well as rapper Ice Cube and others. Barkley shared his thoughts in a video tweeted out by NBA on TNT, where he is an analyst.
I'm so disappointed in these men. But I don't understand how you beat hatred with more hatred. That stuff should never come up in your vocabulary, and it should never come up in your heart. I don't understand it. I'm never going to accept it. And I'm asking you guys, I'm begging you guys, man. You guys are famous. You got a platform. We got to do better, man.
Meanwhile, Variety reports that the producers of Nick Cannon's new talk show, Debmar Mercury, said they are postponing the premiere of the show over his remarks, but standing by the host, saying they believe Cannon's apology was sincere and that they want to continue the healing process, they said, as he meets with leaders of the Jewish community. The Jewish Book Council and Natan announced its spring 2020 Natan Notable Book, The Seventh Heaven Travels Through Jewish Latin America by Dr. Ilan Stavans, which deals with the diversity of the Jewish people. The award committee said it was excited to catalyze conversation about this topic, especially at a time when diversity is very much part of public conversation. When Heroes Fly, the Israeli action thriller from Keshet, seen here in the U.S. on Netflix, is getting the American treatment. The original show tells of 4 IDF veterans who come back together for a personal rescue mission. It is now being remade for Apple TV and renamed Echo 3, and will be co-produced by Apple with Keshet and written by Mark Bohl, who won Oscars for Best Picture and Screenplay for The Hurt Locker and was nominated for Zero Dark 30. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, July the 20th. At 7 o'clock, it's The Wisdom of Dr. Ruth. At 7:30, Episode 2 of the JBS original scripted reality series From Date to Mate. At 8, Biden advisor Anthony Blinken and Trump advisor KT McFarland discuss the 2020 election from the AJC's Global Conference. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with former U.S. Senator Joe Lieberman on L'chaim. At 10, we hear from Mandy Patinkin at the 92nd Street Y. And coming up next, Mark Golub speaks with Péter Beinart, who explains why he is advocating for an end to the Jewish state of Israel. That's on tonight's In the News. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, July the 20th, 2020. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.